Right, so I'm sat in bed the other night and I get an image sent over to me from the big dog. Not the sort of image you're thinking of. He sent that one after. But this was a list put out by our friends at Score90, and this was the top 20 Chelsea players in the 21st century according to Score90. Now, there's one thing that I had to do straight away that you definitely wouldn't have to Google, Josh, but I would, because you're the brains of the two of us, and I'm just pretty much the idiot.
You're the looks.
I'm the looks. Let's call it that.
Yeah.
Let's call it that, well groomed.
Thanks, Manscaped.
Yeah, there you go. Thank you, Manscaped, for that one. Now, there's one thing that I needed to do, and I think you could do this for the viewer right now.
Okay.
What is the 21st century? I honestly had to go. I did honestly have to Google this.
Oh.
Yeah.
Since the millennium.
Isn't it since 2001?
No, since the turn of the millennium.
Really? Yeah. I thought it was since January 2001.
It's when the new century starts.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So
why is it the 21st century if it's the 2000s? Because if you're doing 21st, it should be the 2100s.
Because the noughts would have been the first century.
Yeah. Does that mean that you're actually a year older than you say you are?
Right. So in an Asian country, which I believe is South Korea.
Okay.
You lot can tell me in the comments. The reason I know this is because in primary school, I had a good friend, Ji-chan Park. He was from South Korea. I remember he went back. I was absolutely gutted.
Really?
He went back to Korea, but he was there from like year 2 to year 4. And his mum was an amazing cook. She used to cook me dumplings, all sorts. I used to go over there. I used to love it. Anyway, they class their babies as 1 year old from birth.
And why is that?
I ain't got a clue.
Well, you are created 9 months before you're born.
Yeah, but they are classed as 1 year old from birth. So when we're having our first birthday parties in South Korea, they're having their second. Madness.
I mean, it does make sense, though.
It doesn't really.
I mean, it does.
Well, I don't think it does.
Really?
No, because when you're in there, you're doing fuck all, aren't you?
But you're now. Does that mean you're now 40 rather than 39?
I am not anywhere near 39.
We got some comments the other day saying you look, you look younger for your age.
I think the comments were just trying to banter me the other day. But speaking of banter, let's react to this list. Right, so you can see the list on screen now. We're going to start from number 20. They've got Ivanovic. Number 19, we've got Thibaut Courtois. Number 18, I Am Robin. Number 17, Jorginho. In at number 16, we've got Mason Mount. In at number 15, we've got Dave. In at 14, we have Thiago Silva. 13, Ashley Cole. 12, Ricardo Carvalho. 11, Juan Mata. 10, Diego Costa. 9, Cesc Fabregas. 8, Michael Essien. 7, 1 Maka 2 Maka 3 Makalele. 6, Peter Cech. 5, N'Golo Kante. 4, ranked number 4 is John Terry. Ranked number 3 is Eden Hazard. Ranked number 2 is Didier Drogba. And ranked first is Frank Lampard. Now, here's what I want to say to you before we do all this. We are not going to re-rank this list in our orders, but we will do it if you lot want us to do it. So if you want us to do it, let us know in the comment section below, and we will get that video done for you over this international break.
Just say, comment, rate it hardcore.
Rate it hardcore in the comment section below, and we will get the video done for you. And not only will we get it done for you, we will get it done for you during the international break, which I'm sure we're all absolutely buzzing about.
I can't wait for it.
Yeah, no.
Before we get into that, a few things. Like the video, said the comment, subscribe to Joey's channel. The last thing that I'll do is remember the Steakmate chat as well that we're doing, because they could do some suggestions in that Steakmate chat. Can you explain what the Steakmate chat is?
The Steakmate chat is our basic community that we've got going on now, where, because obviously YouTube comments, right? And listen, the Steakmate chat, it is getting busy. It's getting busy. But the YouTube comment section was something that at first, like, I used to try and get back to everyone and stuff like that. But ultimately, when you get to a point when you're putting out videos that are doing anywhere between 15,000 and to God, what this season? I think the Wolves review did 70, 80,000 or something like that. It's very, very hard to get back to everyone. What I can promise you I do is I read every comment. I can promise you I do that. But it's very, very hard to get back to everyone. But what we've got at the moment is a Steakmate group chat, right? Now, Steakmate is almost like, Bet360 had a baby with Snapchat, basically, is what we're saying here, right?
Yep.
So you've got the two combined, and we put our bets on, and we have a bit of banter about our bets and whatnot, and sometimes we see who's won, sometimes we see who's lost, but we'll also talk about the lineups, the games, the things that are coming out. So for that video, when we rank our top 20, definitely get your suggestions in that Steakmate chat. Steakmate is obviously linked in the bio, or the description, I should say, to this video. But Josh, straight away, right, here's the first thing I want to do. I want to go through this list and just ask you, where are the first positions that jump out at you as being rightly and wrongly positioned? And I'm going to open it up by giving my own.
Okay.
Having John Terry at number 4, for me, is a complete disgrace.
Captain Leader Legends.
Now, there's only 2 spots on this list what John Terry can possibly occupy.
Yeah.
And that is either
1
or
2.
There you go. Right? So we'd agree on that.
100%.
But we don't want to give too many spoilers out for the rest of the list.
Yeah.
Right? Now, let's go through the list, and can we speak about some questionable inclusions
I'd love to.
in this list?
I'd love
and
to.
the reason that I want to do it in this order, right, is because I think that there are many men.
Many men.
Many men wish death on me, but I don't cry no more. There are many men.
Have you walked out to that?
Nah. I like to walk out to something a bit more, upbeat, energetic, not too dark for my sort of thing. But many men do wish death upon me. So let's start off, right, by...
Thibaut Courtois can just fuck off, Joey. Thibaut Courtois is a little snake.
He is a bit of a snake.
He can fuck off this list. He's not in the top 20 Chelsea players of the 21st century.
But Score90, right, who have put this list out...
We're not disputing their reputation.
We're not disputing their reputation at all. Love them as a company, right? But Score90 do not have any agenda towards Chelsea. That, as far as we know, they're not run by Chelsea fans. And therefore, could we say that they have compiled this list without the emotive element to it?
Maybe, but there are some players that are not on this list that should be so much higher than Thibaut Courtois. It is insane.
Well, there you go. So let's start off by speaking about the admissions, and then we can look at players that are included that we feel admissions should definitely be in there over. Remember, we're not going to give him what position these admissions are. Yeah. For me, there are so many admissions from this list, but for me, there is literally only one place and one place only to start.
Okay, go on.
Do you think you know where I'm going to go with this?
I actually don't, but I've got so many options. It could be from within the options.
Okay.
Should we do a 3-2-1? I'll try and guess who you're talking about.
Yeah, and for me, it's the most ludicrous admission ever from this list. Like, it's absolutely mind blowing.
I think you might be changing my mind slightly, but I'm going to stick with my original guess.
It's absolutely ludicrous that this man has not been included in a top 20.
Wow.
So much so that I think it could be an admin mistake.
Okay, right.
Okay?
Wow. Okay.
Right.
I don't think I've got the same guy in my head, but let's go for it. Ready?
Okay, then. 3, 2, 1, Zola. Willian is absolutely nowhere near Zola in terms of what he's done for Chelsea.
I mean, he's in the top 20 list, though.
In my opinion.
Willian's in the top 20.
You'd probably put him in there. We'll have a discussion about Willian.
Right, Willian.
But
Why should Zola be in there?
Gianfranco Zola played for Chelsea until 2003. That means he gave 3 years of service in the period that we're analysing, right? The 21st century. Now, was a prime Zola before the 21st century? Could say so. Could say so. Yeah. But You could also argue the fact that he did contribute towards winning a trophy in the 21st century.
Yeah.
And you could also look at the fact that in his last season, 21 goal involvements in 30 starts. Now, that helped fire Chelsea to a Champions League position. And if that hadn't helped fire Chelsea to that Champions League position, by the way, there would be no list of this, probably, because there would be no Roman Abramovich. It is no secret that Roman Abramovich bought Chelsea Football Club amidst looking at other potential football clubs to buy around that time.
Maybe Jasper Gronkiar should be in the list then.
Maybe Jasper Gronkiar should. But with Jasper Gronkiar, although he shares the same birthday as myself and Tyson Fury and Mario Balotelli and Cara Delevingne.
You've got some good ones, actually.
I've got some good ones.
I've got
some good ones, yeah. And a few others. Although Jesper Gronkiar is the man that scored that goal, I believe that without Jesper Gronkiar, we could have still been in that position around, you know, competing with Liverpool for that spot. Without Gianfranco Zola during that season, we would have very much not been in that position. Gianfranco Zola not making that list is an absolute travesty, in my opinion.
He should be in there.
Would you agree with that?
I think he should absolutely be in there. And in fact, he'd be near my top 10.
There you go. There you go. So straight away, almost as if it's an admin error. An admin error. Should we go one by one and we can both give players that we also...
Before we go from Zola, can you just give me your favourite Zola goal?
My favourite Zola goal was probably in the cup against Norwich. Is that yours? Is it yours?
Mate, I was there. It was an unbelievable goal.
I wasn't there, but that's probably my favourite goal.
How does he get it in?
For anyone that hasn't watched that goal, I'm not allowed to play overlay footage on these sort of things. So just type in Zola v Norwich and you'll see it. But yeah.
We should do a little screenshot of it because basically what he does is he does a chop. A corner comes in. Can you remember who lays on the corner? Was it Graham Lasso?
I've got no idea.
Someone lays on a corner. And Gianfranco Zola strolls up to the near post and just chops it into the back of the net. It was exquisite. It's got to be up there with one of the best Chelsea goals of all time.
I remember him getting a brace against Blackburn.
Yeah.
Very good. Yeah, so many memorable moments. And probably I was really, really lucky to, because of the age and the age that I started going to Stamford Bridge at, I just caught the end of the era of Vialli, Ruud Gullit, Dennis Wires, Poyet, those boys, but didn't probably catch it enough to then go forward consciously. I was born in 1984, so, you know, started going to the Bridge around 2000. So from that era, I'm very lucky for Zola to be a man that I can say I've sat and shared many happy memories watching. So, yeah, for me, absolute travesty that Zola is not in there. Now, should we go one for one and name some more?
Yeah, I'd love to. Yeah. And then should we just sort of go, they should be there or they shouldn't? Like, you name one and I'll go, yeah, they probably should be in the top 20.
So you want to start with Willian?
I'd love to. Yeah, so I'm going to go Willian.
Okay, you're going
Should
Willian.
he be in the top 20?
Debatable. And I think that we can only really do this once we list our entire names. And by the way, I haven't got that many, so I think we can get through it quite quickly.
I think we can because there's a few players between 16 and 20 that should be nowhere near it.
Yeah, so we will go through the players that shouldn't be nowhere near it, but we're going to give our names here.
So I've said Willian. Do you want to go for your next one?
Yeah, my next one would, of course, be Joey Cole.
I love that shout. And because he's your best mate, you have to put him in the list.
There you go.
Yeah, I mean, he'd be texting you otherwise, wouldn't he?
Yeah, I mean, along with David Hay, who also texts me.
Speaking, do you want to talk about that? No big deal.
I don't want to name
the Haymaker.
But did get a message off the Haymaker the other day. Shout out to Haymaker.
Is he your next tattoo? Is he your next tattoo?
I'd love to have him on there. I'd love to have him on there on the boxing sleeve.
Yeah.
Absolutely loved David Hay growing up.
Now, do you want to have a love life like David Hay?
Do you know what? I feel like having 2 YouTube channels is hard enough.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we could be launching a third soon.
I mean,
meetings about that today.
Stop it.
Could be coming very soon.
Joey, we can't talk to him about that.
We can talk to him about it.
It's secret.
You lot have been asking for it. And we are going to fucking deliver.
Not only are we
going to
deliver it, Joey,
It's going to be the
gonna
bollocks.
smash it.
Yeah, yeah. But don't worry
Just
about
get
that.
ready.
Let's. Yeah, David Hayes' love life. For those who don't know, I'll give it the context. He was in what would you call it? A threesome relationship.
A throuple, we call it.
A throuple.
Or if you want to call it the official term, you can call it a polyamorous relationship.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. You're
And
a big
that
fan
is-
of polyamory.
Explain.
A polyamorous relationship is a relationship in which there is more than two people involved.
But they're all consensual and they all know and they understand it.
Well, some polyamorous relationships, people get very jealous. So, I don't know.
Well, he's
Consensual,
ended
yes.
up not being a polyamorous one though.
Well, but
He's
then
just with a one bird now.
But then it became another polyamorous, and then it became a one bird.
Yeah, but either way, what I'm saying is I struggle to manage 2 separate YouTube channels and 2 separate TikTok accounts. I think I would struggle to manage 2 women, but my mother did not raise a quitter.
Can
So,
I ask one
yes.
question, Joey?
Yeah.
Can you name the band in which one of the throuple was involved in?
Oh, no idea. Earth, Wind and Fire?
No, I thought it was Little Mix,
Right.
but it wasn't. Her name was Uma. Does that give you a clue?
Aqua?
No, I think it was the Saturdays, but don't quote me on that. But
Okay.
it definitely wasn't Little Mix.
Yeah. Lucky woman to get anywhere near David Hayes. So I've chucked Joey Cole
Yeah.
into the
Can I
mix
chuck
for the top 20.
I chuck another media personality in there?
Chuck him in.
Media personality. Do you know who I'm going to say? He had how many appearances for us? 372 appearances. By the way, that number shocks me. It's John Obi Mikel.
John Obi Mikel is a player that should definitely be under careful consideration. So we'll have him going forward.
Okay, do you want to do another one? I've got a couple more.
I've got one for you straight away, straight off the back.
Go on.
Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank.
Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank, what a hero. Difficult name to spell,
Yeah.
but unbelievable player.
Where was he born?
Suriname.
Suriname.
Can I just say, I always was astounded at the size of Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank's legs. I always watched him play and I went, how does he fit in those shorts?
Proper player.
Proper player.
And you know when we talk
He
about
could
players
smack a ball.
that wore the long sleeve?
Yeah.
Jimmy Floyd.
Baller.
He used to like to wear a long sleeve. Go on, you can hit me with another one.
I've got one that I think you might disagree with.
Go
In
on.
fact, can I do 2 in 1 for you? Can I do 2 centre backs?
Oh, I'm not sure you're allowed to do that, but
Can I go for it?
Yeah.
I think that David Luiz has to be in consideration. Do you know why? Because he played in the original Champions League final. Not only did he play, he was pretty good and also scored a screamer of a penalty, which you've recently rediscovered.
Yep.
And also, come on.
Can I jump in here and counter it?
No, you can't because I'm about to give you another reason why he should be in there.
Yeah, but I'm not about to counter it with a reason why he shouldn't be in there.
Oh, well, please go ahead
I'm
then.
about to counter it with a player
Oh, okay, yeah, go on.
who I feel is,
More
for me, I
deserving.
feel is more deserving.
Go on then.
Gary Cahill.
Gary Cahill was the other player I was going to mention.
I knew it was, and that's
Yeah.
why I wanted to get in there and counter it ahead of you.
Gary Cahill scored some fucking good goals as well, let alone the defensive
Longevity.
impact. Yeah.
I just think,
He's a club ambassador now as well.
terrific little player.
Absolutely terrific.
Yeah.
But did Gary Cahill play in the Europa League final as well?
Can't even remember. I was the bloke that forgot about the original Europa League
Yeah,
win.
you
I went,
did. You
yeah,
gotta
I'm one of them.
remember
Can't remember,
you
so I
gotta
won't
remember
embarrass
those
myself, and I
moments.
need to.
Yeah.
But remember, I haven't done much research for this video, but
No.
Gary Cahill, I just think absolute class. I think Mr. Dependable. Can't ever remember him having a bad game. Had a good goal ratio from defence as well. Was there through different multiple sort of progressions and periods of that team and always performed to such a high level and completely outperformed what we expected of him coming in. Be very, very interesting out of those 2 players who you guys think is a better shout to have in the top 20, or if either of them even make it. But just in terms of Chelsea career, are you saying David Luiz or Gary Cahill? Now, I have only actually now got one more on my list.
Okay.
That sort of jumps out to me straight away. And I might be missing people out here. And listen, there are players, yeah, of course, like, there's players like Ramirez, there's players that ultimately were there during successful times. Paulo Freire, there's players that were brilliant, but just can't make the list of like greatest of the 21st century, and just a slight cut below that.
Who's the one you were going to mention?
Well, I've started to go with one, but now I've got two. I've got to put the Iceman in there as a shout.
Love him.
Idiger Johnson.
Absolute hero. I loved watching him play as well.
Have you got one more?
I have got one more.
Go on.
The one that I was going to suggest is Marcus Alonso.
That's not a bad shout.
I loved the way he played, and he scored some. He was basically centre forward at left back for a while, wasn't he? He played in some fucking good teams, Marcus Alonso.
Yeah.
Some fucking good teams for us.
It's not a bad shout.
Go on,
and then when we look at some of the players that are on this list, you could go Alonso over them. Now, we've got two goalkeepers on this list.
Yeah.
And I said that Score90 have not done this from an emotional standpoint, have they?
No.
For me, he's worth a mention.
Go on.
Carlo Cudicini.
I've got a player that, I disagree with you. The only reason is because all of the players we've named so far. There's another player that I think it could be another one, is Desai.
Yeah.
I don't, goalkeepers don't really get the praise, do they?
No.
And Carlo was exceptional. I loved him.
So can we agree of those ones we've just named there, yeah?
Yeah.
Right. I am saying that Zola,
Yeah.
Hasselbank.
Debatable against William. Look at the
Against
trophies.
William?
Look at the trophies that William won.
Mate.
Did Jimmy win the league?
No.
William won it a few times.
Yeah. But then it's greatest players. It's not greatest. It's not most achieved.
William had more appearances.
Yeah. Hasselbank had more goals.
Did he?
Of course he did.
Not sure about that.
Of course he did.
We'll look up the stats after this.
He would have done.
But fair enough. Let's have a discussion. I think when we do the video, because obviously the comments are going to say they're desperate for the video.
Okay, well, I'll tell you what we'll do now. Let's just rule the players out of.
Please
let's just
do.
rule the players
Please
out of
do.
there. That's the easiest way to do it. And then we know how many spots we've got. Right.
Please do.
So I am going to start you
Go
off.
from 20.
And I
Go
mean
from 20.
absolutely no disrespect, absolutely zero disrespect when I rule any of these players out. Many of them I love dearly, but I am going to chuck a few of these players out, right? I'm going to start off by not chucking him out, by just saying, because of a longevity thing, I think that 2 seasons of I Am Robin is a little bit generous to have him in there, but those 2 seasons were so brilliant that I'm not ruling him out.
He's out. Joey, he's out. When you have all the players that we just named and you're comparing Arjen Robben to those, he's out. Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank's better than that, and we weren't even sure on him.
He's not better than that, but he's...
Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank had a better career at Chelsea than Arjen Robben did.
No, he didn't, because he didn't win the league by what you've just said.
Well, come on. 2 seasons.
But can I give you my counter to it?
Yeah.
And people will hate this because of the Arjen Robben was a magician, yeah? He was absolutely brilliant, and therefore people will hate this, but I am going to say that Idiger Johnson had a better Chelsea career than Arjen Robben. Was he a better player? I don't know.
No.
But better career, yes.
Yeah.
I'd also say that Gary Cahill did than Arjen
100%.
Robben. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So there's one spot we're going to have to unfortunately rule Arjen Robben out, and you lot will disagree. This might enrage a few people.
Courtois gone, by the way, as well.
Then,
by the way.
I don't know if you can rule Courtois
Courtois out. He's not in the top 20.
Do we win those titles without Courtois? What top-level goalkeepers were knocking about at the time?
Could have just kept Petr Cech.
No, we couldn't, mate. No, we couldn't. You saw the decline when he went to Arsenal.
Could have just kept him.
No, we got rid of him at the right time, and I think that he could have cost us goals, and we might not have won the leagues with Petr Cech.
It's the stuff afterwards that ruins Courtois for me.
It is, but I'm reluctant to rule him out.
I think when we do this list, I think you're going to struggle to get him in.
Okay.
But fair enough. Jorginho, mate.
Jorginho
can do one.
What the fuck? I get it. He won a Champions League.
He can do one.
Absolutely no chance. Mason Mount came through the academy, laid on the assist in the Champions League final, did some great stuff for us, ultimately never won a league for us. And
he's out.
No, you're out.
No.
You're out.
Right, people, I just want to quickly take this opportunity to tell you about new partners of the channel, Squawka. When you're in the YouTube industry like I am, there is a certain type of service that you could very much do with having on your side, and that is the service that stops you making blunders. And when I'm preparing for some of my videos, I use the website Squawka to use the player comparison matrix, and that helps me get a better understanding of comparing the players that I'm talking about. For example, a lot of you guys know that for every Chelsea game, I put out my preferred starting lineup, and I do look into the underlying numbers of the players I'm picking and the players that I'm comparing, and that's where Squawka comes in. They offer the best player comparison matrix on the internet. The website is so efficient and so easy that even I can use it. For example, when I'm picking from Chelsea's 30 to 40 odd wingers that we've got at the club, I can very easily jump onto Squawka and see how their stats compare. But you don't need to be a YouTuber to need to use Squawka. You could use it for your bets when you're betting on first goal scorer and things like that. It could give you a better indication. Or you could just use it to look like a genius down the pub, and we all like to do that, don't we? So thank you very much to Squawka for not only helping me prepare for my videos, but also partnering up with the channel. So help support me by supporting the guys that support the channel in Squawka. They are linked in the description for this video. Let's get back into it.
So there you go. So straight away, 18, 17, 16, that's three positions
places.
we have just freed
And
up.
Courtois, so
Right?
4.
Are you going Courtois?
No.
I'll let you rule him out. If you want to rule him out, you can rule him out.
And I will take anyone in the comments that wants to argue that. I don't think
We
that-
take him in a fight.
I
Would you
wouldn't
meet
take them in a
up?
fight
Would
because
you
they would beat me because I'm
meet him
not a
up
fighter.
for a
I'm a
street
lover.
fight?
I'm a lover.
All right. Would you
I'm a
shag
lover.
him then? Okay.
Until you start training me, I won't be able to.
By the way, notice that we haven't even touched on Branislav Ivanovic because
Branislav Ivanovic is in there.
for me, not only is he in there, he should probably be higher than
Way
number
higher.
20.
Way
Yeah,
higher.
and that will come when we give our own list. But okay, so we have ruled 4 out there. We've ruled out Courtois. We've ruled out Ian Robin, as much as it hurts me to do so. Terrific player. We've ruled out Jorginho. We've ruled out Mason Mount. Now we look at number 15, Azpilicueta.
Definitely in there.
I think for being a stalemate at a club, you cannot rule him out.
Love him.
Now, Thiago Silva, what he has going against him is the fact that he doesn't have a league title for us, but unreal player.
Champo League.
Unreal player. Ashley Cole, we could absolutely never rule him
should
out.
be
And
way
to be
higher
honest,
than
he
that.
should be higher
way
than
higher.
13th.
Yeah.
Carvalho.
Carvalho. Question mark on Carvalho.
Can I ask you a question then?
Yeah.
If in a hypothetical world, a prime Gary Cahill was partner to John Terry during that period, would we have been any less successful?
Do you think that we concede more than the 15 odd goals that we conceded in that season? Because Carvalho was a part of that, wasn't he? I think the problem is I'm thinking about Cahill at that age. Cahill would have been, a kid at that age, wouldn't he?
No, but I'm saying a prime Cahill.
I think it would have been comparable, to be fair. I think the JT Gary
So
Cahill
you know your
connection
shout
was
earlier when you said about David Luiz.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can absolutely guarantee you that Ricardo Carvalho was a much better player for Chelsea than David Luiz.
But did he win as much? And was he as respected in the game as David Luiz was at the time?
Yeah. Yeah, in my opinion.
I'm not.
My opinion.
I'm not.
But
Angry with Carvalho being in
my
there.
question mark here is I don't argue with Carvalho being in there.
I think he's lower.
But he should be lower than 12. Juan Mata would also be another man that is in my list, but would probably be lower.
Yeah.
But again, when we're doing this, we're Chelsea Football Club. We've had some absolutely unreal ballers. So there you go. So I don't think in that 5, I'm going to rule any of them out. And then in the next section, when we look at Costa, Fabregas, Essien, Makelele, Peter Cech, I think it's just pretty easy that you don't rule any of them out. I think Costa filled a void when he came. I think Fabregas was an absolute magician himself when he was there, and probably instrumental into getting us back to winning league titles when it had been a good couple of years of out. So their contribution just can't go unnoticed in the slightest. Makelele, Peter Cech, we don't even need to speak about that. And then the top 5, you'd absolutely rule not one of them out, but I would reorder them. So that means that we've got 4 positions up for grabs.
Yeah. So we've got to do this video then.
So We're doing it now.
Oh God. Okay.
We're just not putting them in an order.
Okay,
what we're
fine.
going to do the next time we do this video during this international break, because I'm pretty sure you lot are going to want it the hardcore. If you do, comment, I want it hardcore. Then we will do them, and we'll actually do them in our list and in our orders, and I'll produce graphics and I'll put time into it and all that sort of shit.
There's some
But
easy ones,
for
aren't
right
there?
now, there's 4 that need to go in.
Easy
the
ones.
first man that goes in is
Gianfranco Zola.
Gianfranco Zola.
Yep.
The second man that goes in is
Gary Cahill.
Gary Cahill.
Yeah.
The third man that goes in is,
For me, Willian.
for me, Joe Cole.
Okay. The fourth man that goes in for me is Joe Cole. So I'm happy for him to go in. So you've got to decide who your last man is.
Well, then.
You
So
want to put
now I'm deciding out of.
Good Johnson,
Right?
Hasselbank,
Good Johnson, Hasselbank,
David Luiz, Willian.
David Luiz. No, because you're putting Willian in there.
No, but you don't agree. You have to. We both have to agree.
Right. So, Good Johnson. Yeah.
Good Johnson,
Hasselbank.
Hasselbank,
David Luiz.
David Luiz,
Right. Let's just rule David Luiz out.
Ramirez.
Ramirez. People are going to be turned down the camera now. Pedro.
Yeah, I like Pedro as well,
Yeah.
and William.
William, Desai, whatever.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah. So we got one more spot.
and Florent Malouda. No,
Yeah.
I'm joking.
No, I
I'm
get where you're coming
joking.
from, but you know
I'm
when I
not
said,
doing- I'm
you know
not
when I
doing
said
it.
about
I'm joking.
Ramirez
I'm
and
joking
players
about
like that,
Florent
he's
Malouda.
that
Yeah.
tier.
Where's your head at with this?
I
Because-
just you know where my head's at. You know where my head's at.
Go on, tell me.
Who do you think I'm putting in there?
You're thinking Jimmy.
No, I'm not.
You're thinking Ida.
Ida's going in there.
Okay.
Ida's going in there. He was there
What did he
for.
win?
Well, I'll tell you what
He's
he
got
won.
a lot of honours.
I'll tell you
Ida.
what he won. He won a lot, mate. He
Yeah,
won.
he
He
won
won.
League
He won.
Cups.
He won Community Shields. He won League Cups. I believe he won AFA Cup, but I might be wrong on that.
Yeah.
He won 2 Premier League titles, and not only that, and this is the reason again, right? Why like it also sort of leads into like why I feel like John Terry needs to be higher on this list, right? Not only that. Ida Johnson is a man that was brought in before the takeover. And when you look at, let's say Manchester City, right? Manchester City, that if you look at their period, how long have they now had since the takeover? 2009? 2009? So they're now on
Yeah.
15 years.
Fuck,
yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
Jeez.
So,
That's
right,
flown
okay,
by,
so
hasn't it?
say 15 years from our takeover in 2003 was what, 2018?
Yeah.
Okay, right. So then when you look at that, in terms of like Man City, who I know no one's not going to be there for the 15-year mark, but who was still there? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Who was even there past the 2-year mark, mate? Really? Like, was Company there before the takeover?
I think.
Was he?
Oh, no, actually, no. He was one of the first signings.
One of the first signings.
Yeah.
So who was there? This is what I'm saying. Who was there before the takeover and still made sure that they were in that side? And that's why when I look at it and I go, Frankie Lamps, and this isn't my order, but Frank Lampard, John Terry, Ida Johnson, all there before the takeover.
Yeah.
And even once we started splashing the cash, still instrumental parts of that Chelsea's team. Ida Johnson flicking the ball over who would have probably been Tim Howard or maybe Roy Carroll's head on the opening day of the season against Man United to get us that win and to get us off on that straight away, beating established Premier League winning season in, season outside in Sir Alex Ferguson's Man United, getting us that win on the opening day of the season. Ida Johnson there before the takeover, and even then once we start splashing the cash and bringing everyone in, he's still getting in that team, still being an instrumental part for us. Ida Johnson is the man that needs to be that 4th spot that we put in the team.
Yeah. I rate it. I can understand your passion about it. I don't know why I've got such an affinity with Willian. I just remember.
I love him too, though. I love him.
I just remember him scoring some ridiculous goals. And do you think that his impact had a significant ability on why Eden Hazard was so generational? Like, do you just think he's sort of like he was methodical and defensive when he needed to be, and he wasn't really a big ego. He just got on with it, and he had such a connection with Eden that he enabled him to do everything that he needed to do. He won everything as well, Willian. You know, didn't win the Champions League, obviously, but he won a lot. at Chelsea, didn't he?
Mm.
I think it's a really tough one. Maybe should we let the comments decide that final spot?
I think we let the comments tell us if I'm wrong because I feel very passionately about that. It needs to be Ida
I'm
Johnson.
I'm happy to compromise and go because I loved Ida. And
And
do you
there'll
know
be
what?
just
He's a
as
good
many
bloke as well.
people that might maybe go for, well, I don't know, because of age of viewers or whatever, but there might be just as many people that go for Hasselbank as there do Willian. There might be just as many
Or
people.
Ramirez.
But yeah, so
They've all had their moments,
to
haven't they?
clarify, our 4 then that we would have in there would be Zola, would
Joey
be
Cole.
Joe Cole, Gary Cahill, Ida Johnson.
I love it.
And we would be putting them in the place of Courtois,
Yeah.
Iron Robin,
Yeah.
Jorginho,
Yeah, Jorginho.
and Mason Mount. Yeah? If you want to see our list, let us know in the comment section below. But I tell you what, we're not done for today because we teased that we would do a little Q&A and we wanted to get the first video done and dusted, sorted and set. So I am now going to give us a few Q&A questions sent in by you lot. This is for the hardcore, but I believe this whole video has been for the hardcore. So let's start off. And I'm going to give it to you raw, Josh. You don't know any of these questions that have been sent in.
No.
I'm going to start you off, Mr. Aveste, with saddest moment from a film.
Do you know what? The one that always makes me cry, and you're going to think I'm a bit of a weirdo here, is the ending of Interstellar.
I've not watched Interstellar.
Oh, well, I won't tell you what happens in the ending then. But it made me cry.
No, but
It's very emotional.
I've got Interstellar a few times.
Yeah, I bet you have.
Mm.
Any good? What about you? I reckon yours is going to be like a classic rom-com.
Stella is the typical name that an alcoholic would call his daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was the song when I met my mate Stella? Got drunk all over a fella.
Yeah, who was that?
I don't know, but it's a great song.
Same ones that sing. Who's that girl there? Wonder what went wrong to her. She had to walk the streets.
People, by the way, they always love it when you sing. The comments are always
She
like,
don't
sing
do
more.
major credit cards. I doubt she does receipts. It's all not quite legitimate.
Who sang it? Arctic Monkeys.
Arctic Monkeys, yeah. That's a great walkout tune, you know.
It is a great
He's a
walkout tune.
scumbag, don't you know? But it comes back. That'd be a good walkout tune. Yeah, that'd be a good one. Saddest moments.
Yeah, who's
saddest
crying?
moments for me.
Do you cry at films? Do you actually let out a tear?
Yeah. If I'm being completely honest.
Yeah. Do you want to
Not often.
Do you want to know the film that I cried most recently at?
Go on.
Is The Iron Claw. It's all about professional wrestling.
Right.
Very good film. If you haven't seen it,
I've not
watch
watched
it.
it.
Fuck me.
I've not
Go on,
watched
what
it.
was your answer?
I would go. Do you know what? I've got a few, right?
Yeah.
I'm not saying I've cried at all of these. I've shedded a few tears at Titanic.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
Was that when he was drawing her naked? You were crying.
yeah, and using the tears as lube to wank with.
We've all done it.
No, you know when she spots the boat and he goes, "Is anyone out there?
Yeah.
Can anyone hear me?" And she
Yeah.
goes, "Jack, come back, Jack."
I'm surprised you haven't had an acting
And
gig.
she goes, I'll never let go, and then lets go. It's like, hold on, you contradicting yourself
Why
there,
did you
love.
do it?
I know you're cold, but you just said you never let go.
And also, everyone's done an ice bath.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
There you go.
It's not even a big deal.
Not
Everyone has.
We apologise to any grandchildren and sides. That was funny though. We're obviously joking. I'm keeping it in though. Another moment that made me really upset was when Rocky goes back to the gym once Mickey's died, and he's like sat there and he's made all his money and he's become famous now and whatever, and he goes back to the gym and it's almost like dilapidated by this point and it's run down and it's not even in use anymore, and then he can hear him talking to her and he's saying, "Get back up, Mickey loves you," and whatever, and that was don't know, I'm getting sick.
That's me happy here.
The Notebook.
Yeah.
That
See,
film used to make
do you know
me
what,
cry.
Joe? I've never made it to the end.
No, have you not?
Well, you always put it on. You know.
Yeah.
I've
You put it on.
Yeah. Never
For
made it to the
Netflix and
end.
chill.
Yeah.
I get ya. No. Well, to bring the mood down a little bit here,
don't.
my granddad, he had Alzheimer's and he used to forget who my nan was all the time. So when I watched The Notebook, it used to, you know, when the old woman, well, you don't know.
I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it.
Basically, yeah. But it's a great love story. I'll give you one more, and you'll like this because you like me singing and they like me singing. Right, tell me the movie. When somebody loved you. They can't hear. They can't hear. But from out from the back, they've just had it. Toy Story. Yeah, when Jessie starts like getting separation anxiety when she thinks she's not gonna be. Basically, she's Jessie from Toy Story. She's telling the fact that she used to have a kid that played with her, and then that kid gave her away and whatever. Yeah. And she goes back and she's like reliving the like Woody has with Andy. Jessie had it with another girl.
Yeah.
And it's that song, when somebody loved you, everything was beautiful, every hour was spent. And then basically, when she loved me, do, 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 do. And that makes me really emotional. And because I watch Toy Story all the time with my daughter, probably on a daily basis, that bit makes me emotional.
That's a good film to watch
as well. So yeah, there you go. So right, let's go with oh, this one's really interesting, right? As an adult, should you get a player's name on the back of your kit?
Yeah. No, you shouldn't. I don't think you should have any name.
You shouldn't really.
No, but
because
also I don't mind it.
Say for example, say like if I go get Palmer on the back of my kit, like I'm walking around with a bloke who's like 10 years younger than me, his name on the back of my kit.
Yeah, but do you get Joey Knight? Do you get Knight?
No, you can't get nothing. You can't get nothing. Imagine me like going up Chelsea, already like you get recognised every 2 seconds, but it's like Knight.
Yeah.
Knight. Podcast below, fucking lay off it,
Follow.
mate.
You'd have Knight subscribe,
begging for attention. So is that just?
I think. Do you know what? I don't mind it when people do it. I wouldn't personally do it, but I don't mind it.
Okay, so someone has asked me, and they've spelled it the right way. Favourite city in England that's not London. Well, I'll give saying away. As much as I love London, it's not even my favourite city in England anyway.
What is your favourite city?
You know it, I think. I think you know my favourite place in England.
It's going to be an obvious answer, isn't it? I know what it is.
3, 2, 1. Newcastle. Yeah, I love Newcastle.
You've only been there 3 times.
Oh, no, I've been there more than that.
No, I'm joking.
I've been there loads of times, mate. Love it.
It's a good place.
Love the men. Prefer the women.
And just and the nightlife.
Newcastle's sick, man. Yeah. Everyone, you're just full of good people in Newcastle. Do you know what I mean? So Newcastle will be my one. Your favourite city?
City. What's the definition of a city in your head?
No.
Can I say
do you know what? We
town?
can go anywhere. You can go town, city, anything.
I really like places like St Ives in Cornwall.
Cotswolds.
Well, I was going to say Cirencester is my other one in the Cotswolds. Beautiful place.
Cirencester. That is where
yes,
thingy's from. Parsons. Charlie Parsons.
Charlie Parsons from Cirencester.
Parsons?
No, I don't know. Who's Charlie Parsons?
Charlie Parsons and know himself.
Legends.
Yeah, he's
I like Cirencester. I like St Ives in Cornwall. Newquay's always a bit of a laugh.
Yeah,
you can always have a bit of fun down in Newquay.
Yeah.
And then Bristol's quite a nice city.
I want to give a shout out to, and I'd be amazed if there's any watchers from here, but shout out Hunstanton.
Hunstanton. What a place.
It's in Norfolk.
Yeah, you love Norfolk.
Yeah, obviously. I spent a lot of my childhood in Norfolk. My parents always had a second home and it was in Norfolk. So sometimes, like summer, we'd go up there for like 4 or 5 weeks at a time. We used to do Christmas up there, stuff like that and whatever. So Hunstanton was like the closest seaside town, 5 minutes in the car from us who were from the coast. So Hunstanton, Kings Lynn.
So if you need a holiday, go to Hunstanton.
Norfolk, absolutely loved it. Tony Fernandez, CFC 87. I like this question. I like that.
Tony Fernandez was in my chat speaking a lot on the live stream.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And do you know why I find this funny? Because I said to him, I know 2 Tony Fernandezes.
Really?
One is the owner and chairman of QPR.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Great documentary, The 8-Year Plan.
I asked him, is he the Tony? And he said to me, he's not. He doesn't own QPR, unfortunately. No. And then I've got a family friend who's Tony Fernandez as well. And he said
so
to me,
you know 3?
Yeah, now, yeah.
Now?
Yeah.
Oh, well, Tony Fernandez is pretty hardcore by the sounds of things.
Yeah.
He said, You're a decent boxer, and also he said,
Debatable.
Yeah, debatable. You're a decent boxer and a big Chelsea fan, but what's your favourite thing to put on toast?
Okay.
Great
the connection.
Do you know
Love
what? That's
the
almost
segue.
a little bit Tubes-esque, that question, isn't it?
And shout out to you, Tubes. We do want you on the podcast.
My favourite thing to put on toast, undeniable, is to just whack it on there, wrap it up, and give my missus just a sausage roll. No, I'm joking. No. Favourite thing to put on toast.
I mean, you wouldn't want her biting into that, would you?
Oh God, no, I wouldn't want her a biter. Favourite thing to put on toast for me would be Marmite. Obviously, butter first.
Yeah,
butter goes on first.
yeah.
Marmite goes on second.
Yeah.
And don't smother it. I don't want to see blodges of Marmite on there. I want good fair bit of butter so the toast goes golden, because I always have brown toast, by the way. Actually,
Healthy.
if anything, I have, what's it called, the slimmest one, sourdough.
whole milk.
Sourdough now.
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
But yeah, butter on top, and for me it's got to be Anchor. Some people like Lurpak.
Oh, you like Anchor, do you? Well done.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm an Anchor.
Yeah.
And then
You
Marmite.
should go for some Président butter. That's very posh French butter. Try that.
that
If
sounds
you really
like
want to
it.
go crazy on your sourdough, go for that. The answer is Marmite, isn't it?
Is it Marmite?
I think any other answer is incorrect.
Yeah. Elbreck18.
Yeah.
Who is the better footballer out of you two? Well, I'm going to say Josh,
No, I'm
because
gonna say
you've
Joey.
never even seen me play.
I mean, I just know you've got techers there.
I haven't got
Who would
techers.
you say you're most likely and most like in terms of a player?
Michael Owen.
I love how he didn't even think about it as well.
Goals man.
Well, I keep inviting, guys, just so you know, I keep inviting Jerry to come and play football with me, and he's always got an excuse.
Josh, there's a reason I'm a boxer. There's a reason I'm a boxer.
Come and play football. And we'll
There's
see.
a reason
We'll
I'm a
see.
boxer, because I'm a shit footballer.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
I'm one of them shit footballers that just does score.
I've got a question for you then. Who's the worst, right? Are you a worse football player or am I a worse boxer? Because I know the answer.
Oh,
to
don't
this.
be harsh, but
I'm
you'd be a worse boxer.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, because I can do a bit.
Yeah,
like, I
yeah,
played
yeah.
Sunday League for years and years, but
But you're going to train me.
I will. I
Yeah,
will.
Yeah.
I will. Right. I'm just looking through. I think we've had this before. How does Josh approach women?
Just don't.
Just don't. We've got yeah. Doesn't at the moment.
How do I approach women? I mean, to be honest with you, cutting the shit probably online.
Yeah.
To be fair.
Oh, here you go. This is very interesting.
Yeah.
Foster says, if you both had to have a Pokemon follow you around forever, which one would it be?
I fucking love Pokemon, by the way.
Mm.
The basic bitch answer is going to be Pikachu.
It would be,
Yeah.
but let's not be basic bitches.
No, I'm not going to say Pikachu. Have you got an answer for this?
I would probably go with Charizard, and the reason being is that I believe that in the country we live in, warmth
Yeah.
is probably more important to me than cold or water, to pick Squirtle, for example.
Yeah.
So I think that there's so many times of the year when it's like, constantly in tracksuit, stuff like that. If I've got Charizard stood next to me and he's just, heating me up.
Yeah.
And also save on energy bills, things like that. Do you know what I
True,
mean?
true.
Because he'd heat the home up.
Yeah,
so
true. I'd go for one above that then, and I would go in terms because I like a dog, and also maybe a dog that could keep you warm. I'm going to go Arcanine,
Nice.
and also he can take you to work, can't he? Because Ash rides on the back of him.
Yep. Yep.
So just go for that.
Miles Scoggins, worst activities to do on a lad's holiday. I'll answer that for you, Miles, from experience. Get chlamydia.
I was going to say exactly the same thing.
So
for
I'd
fuck's
probably
sake.
say that.
Do you know?
to be
Do you know
honest.
what? I'm going to piss a few people off with this, but I reckon. Do you know what a really bad one is as well? Is
What?
skiing.
Yeah,
Do you
I've never
know
been
why?
skiing, but
Yeah,
so
I've never been.
many fucking injuries.
No,
like,
well, that's the thing. Like, skiing's actually really fun. I haven't actually even been myself, but I've heard a lot of people say it is fun. But you just get broken legs every time, like broken ankle, broken leg.
yeah.
It's dodgy.
Ooh. If you were the new Prime Minister tomorrow, what new laws would you introduce and what would you take away?
I know what your
So-
one's going to be.
So my first thing I would take away is ULEZ,
Yeah, fucking hell.
because I'm going to be...
Your diesel car is
I'm-
fucking.
no. Well, I'm just going to be completely honest with you. and this is something we speak about on the actual, other channel, the main channel when
What's
it
it called?
comes. But not sure. I'm not saying it doesn't exist, but I'm just saying not sure I believe in climate change, global warming, things like that. So
I think
I'm not going to
ULEZ
go
is about
into
pollution,
it
Joey.
now. Not sure I believe in it.
Okay.
The other thing I would do is I would reintroduce plastic straws in McDonald's
Yeah,
because
fair
a
enough.
Coke tastes awful
Yeah.
out of the wooden straw.
What about the lids that
what was
are
I-
attached?
What was I gutted about in Saudi when we last went?
Whether they have plastic straws.
No, when we last went, they had wooden straws, but when we went before, they had plastic
No,
straws.
they have plastic straws elsewhere. We just were in a different place.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what.
Yeah, I hate the bottle caps that are attached now.
Mm,
That's just ridiculous. We don't need
Okay.
that at all.
okay. There's other laws that I would definitely introduce
but might-
as
maybe not
Prime
one for the
Minister, but
podcast.
would be cancelable. But
Yeah,
people
you
can
do
make
the
their
Ali
own.
G strategy,
Yeah,
wouldn't you? The
Yeah.
immigration strategy.
Fit,
Yeah.
fit. Hold on, back to Slovenia. I would do that.
dear.
Get rid
Would
of all
you-
mingers.
I've got one for you. Relatively
Yeah.
controversial one. Would you legalize drugs?
I'd legalise Mary Jane. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah,
A lot of
but then
people
that's
agree
not
with
me. But then that's not me going like, oh, you should definitely do it. Like
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
I believe that. I think that using it over what's the word, like overindulging in it from a young
Yeah,
age, I think mucks up your brain. And I actually think overindulging in it from any age mucks up your brain.
Mm.
But I would say that in my experience, alcohol can be worse. Really,
What do you think?
I also
what would you
think
rather
that in
ban
doing
if you could ban one? If you would you ban Mary Jane or would you ban alcohol?
No, I'd just probably keep things how they are
Okay.
at the moment.
Fair enough.
But I'm just saying, would I legalise it? Yeah. Do I think that it would bring down crime rate and stuff like that? Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, no, I can't tell the story on podcast, but I've been personally affected by crime
Yeah.
that has come off the back of the fact that, that
Yeah.
weren't legal. So,
I'd tax it though as well.
yeah.
And make some money out of it. Then everyone's a winner.
Yeah, a lot of these ones are just people asking me to give them money, which the answer's no. Fuck
Yeah.
off. Do you get that? People inboxing you asking for money, like
not
random
usually,
accounts.
no,
I
not
get it.
usually.
Are you guys doing a live stream on the paying game for Tyson against Jake Paul? We aren't doing a live stream. We haven't got one planned. I'm guessing it's going to be the middle of the night, isn't it?
Yeah.
But I can make you a
When is it?
promise that I don't know. I don't know. But I can make you a promise that me and Brian will do some content on it on my channel. What's the biggest bum you've had? My missus got a big old bunda on her.
That's a good question.
Ooh.
Come.
Best, I love how Foster, again, I like this one. Best aftershave to attract the birds at work. I love how it's not just
know,
the birds,
I
it's
know,
the birds
it's
at
at
work.
work.
So you completely
I
given
love
away.
it.
I hope no birds from your work are watching now.
I hope they are, though, 'cause then they
they're gonna-
fancy-
They're
then they
going to now
know.
realise that you definitely fancy them.
Next time, let us know your surname and where you work, and we'll actually put in a good word for you.
Yeah, and your postcode and your bank details.
I've got a secret for this, Joey.
Go on.
There's a company. This is not sponsored, but I've used them recently, and I really like them. Noted Aromas.
Right,
heard about these guys?
I haven't heard about them.
What they do is they get the best dupes of fragrances that you would otherwise have to pay hundreds of pounds for, and they sell them for 20 quid.
Really?
And they're really good.
Okay.
I'm wearing one right now. If you want to know my Noted Aroma scent, it's Riyadh, which is relevant for us,
Nice.
isn't it?
Nice.
Very nice.
I'm gonna say Hermes personally.
Hermes.
Hermes. Yeah.
Okay.
Hermes.
Which
That's
is that? Do they have a name of the fragrance, or is it just Hermes?
well, that's it, innit? The one I buy at the airport all the time.
I thought it had a name for it because Hermes is the brand.
Oh, well, yeah, they're aftershave. Like
They're
the little
after-
golden one
they're-
comes in
they're
a bottle. It's always worked a treat for me.
But Joey, tell us about the trick of the aftershave, because there's a trick here. Yeah,
Spray it on the back of the neck.
yeah.
Spray it on the side of the neck, yeah?
Why?
Because when you lean in to talk to a bird and whatever, or when you give them a cuddle or whatever, if their chin goes over your shoulder, they're not going to smell this bit here where you sprayed it all, they're going to smell the back of your neck.
Yeah.
The back of your neck needs to
I
smell
think
nice.
I think for me, behind the ears as well.
Yeah, yeah. Josh doesn't drink, so I suppose this one's for me. What number of pints is the sweet spot? Well,
don't ask Joey on a Thursday night.
God.
On a
How many pints do you reckon I sunk the other night?
9.
10 probably.
Yeah.
And I can tell you that is not the sweet spot.
That's not the sweet spot.
Because I used to get a hangover. Now I get a hangover and I get 2 days of horrendous anxiety.
And also banter
on
YouTube comments.
Yeah, I know as well. But also, like, now people know me, and I'm not saying, like, oh, fucking famous or something or whatever, but, like, now people know me, like, yeah, like, don't get me wrong, like, I'm you know what I'm like when I'm pissed, I'm a fucking laugh. Like, you know what I mean? There's nothing wrong, like, with it, but I just get anxiety. So, number of pints for the sweet spot, I'm saying you say 2, but you have 3.
Yeah.
I'm saying that's the sweet spot for me. It's like, oh, should we go for a pint? Oh, should we have one more? And then it's like, oh, do you know what? How long have we got to the train? 4 minutes. I reckon we could sink one more. That's the sweet spot for me, 3 pints. But I'm trying not to drink at the moment at all. I think there was one more that I took a screenshot of. Right. Who out of you and Josh would make a better goalkeeper?
Well, I've got a physical deformity, Joey.
Mm-hmm.
I've got a physical deformity on my hand, so I don't think I'd be a very good goalkeeper at all. Although I did start my career off in football as a goalkeeper. But shall I show the physical deformity?
Yes, show it. Yeah, that's fucked.
That's not good. Look at that.
Put it more central so they can. There, yeah. See,
I can't even look at it.
How'd you do it?
I caught a rugby ball and it literally went directly into the finger, and I think it was the knuckle. I think I fucked the knuckle.
Never play ruggers, mate.
Never. Trick there, all of you guys. Just never play rugby.
Never.
It's a
play
very
rugby.
dangerous game.
Never play rugby.
Yeah. But I've got the height, Joey. So maybe I'd have to deal with the hands.
First fight you ever got in? Have you ever had any fights? Any physical?
No, I've not had any fights.
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
First one I ever got in, probably with brothers and sisters. First one, it's really weird. We're speaking about fingers there. There was a boy, and he was being horrible to me in about year 1, year 2, and he kept bending my fingers back. And I remember I was scared of him. And one day I realised I could just punch him in the face. Punched him in the face hard as I could. He dropped like a sack of potatoes. And from that point ever onwards, I realised, I can do a bit of damage with these, and then just fighting all the way through school. So yeah. Although I did have one fight. And I've had how many fights? 13 fights now, right?
Professional.
And if I got, somewhat like unlicensed. But I did have one fight at school. Shout out Jordan Bishop, right? I had a fight with Jordan Bishop. If I go out in a pub in Epsom, to this day, people still come over to me and go, oh, remember your fight with Jordan Bishop? And I'm like, I've had like 13 fights that have been on the TV, and you're telling me about a fight that I had on the field at school. It was a back and forth. It was a good fight. It was a good fight, to be fair. Yeah. Probably have to go down. I'd say probably go down as a split decision draw.
Really?
At the end of it. Yeah, probably so. He had a good start. Then I actually he tried to walk off. I hit him from behind, which is not a good thing to do, but I'll admit it, I did it. And then we had a little brawl, and probably.
Does those street fights help you in any way when you actually get in a ring for the first time?
Not from a technical aspect, no, but from a mental aspect, yes. Because what I used to do was I used to not want to get in trouble, right? So, like, sometimes it just kicks off and whatever, but sometimes I'd know that I was having a fight at school, and it'd be like, right, so-and-so wants to fight you, and I'd be like, all right, cool, come round the back of the sports hall. So, say, for example, we see each other outside the canteen. This is what happened in this fight, for example. See each other outside the canteen. I'm like, right, come, let's do it around the back of the sports hall. And then you'd be turning around and saying to people, fuck off, go away. Like, do you know what I mean? Because you don't want teachers to come. You don't want to get in trouble for it. So that little walk is almost like a ring walk. So you've sort of done it before.
True.
And then when you meet kids from other schools, doesn't sound like right, wrong, and now, but like, you know, like when you meet a kid, an kid from another school or whatever for a fight, you'd arrange to meet up with them, and it'd be like, right, okay, you're at this school, which is a mile away. I'm at this school, which is a mile away. Let's meet at that park in the middle. That little walk there, you'd be getting the butterflies.
Yeah,
and you're
yeah,
thinking, oh,
yeah.
fucking hell, and whatever. And some of the, mate, I've had fights at school and in parks that have had half as many viewers, maybe, as some of my lesser fights on the unlicensed scene. So, mad, isn't it? But yeah, we'll end it there. People, like, share, subscribe. We will see you all in the next one.